Hi, welcome to another Rusty Maths video. In this video, I thought I might as well talk to you a little bit about the iPad Pro. In particular, the iPad Pro 2018. Why am I talking about an old iPad, you might be wondering, when the 2020 iPad Pro is just out. I'll be talking about that one in another video. But recently, being a person that watches YouTube a lot, I've noticed that, the iPad Pro has been getting some bad rep from, Apple haters and stuff like that. Now, personally, I'm a user of Apple products. As you can see, I've got my MacBook Pro and my iPad Pro there. And I'm actually filming this on an iPhone XS Max. So that says a lot, doesn't it? But anyway, what I want to do in this video is talk to you about the usefulness of my iPad Pro, why I use it. But first, I must let you know, I'm a teacher. I'm a regular guy that goes into a classroom and teaches kids mathematics. And then when I'm done, I go home and look after my own kids. You might notice though that you might recognize this as my kitchen table. So yes, I'm actually filming this in my kitchen because, like the rest of the world, I am in lockdown as well. So is the rest of my family, everyone in my neighborhood. You know how this goes, COVID-19. Well, it's a real... Anyway, there we go. So this table, besides being our dinner table, breakfast table, lunch table, it is also now my office. It is my classroom. A plethora of stuff on the wall. So obviously I am one of the people having to homeschool. Lucky for me, I'm a teacher, so I have a half decent idea as to what I'm doing. Alright guys, couple more minutes and then we'll mark and then we get on to today's main lesson. So I'm actually teaching my kids every day, and this happens at this table on a very, very strict schedule. Okay, so that happens. And this is where my iPad Pro comes in. So I'll tell you about the first thing about my iPad Pro. It's not by any means the trump card as yet. These are other things like our little additives that I have. As being a teacher, I also do online tuition. And my son's got a friend or two in his class that I also tutor while I am homeschooling him. They don't pay me for that. That's pretty much straightforward. So while I'm teaching him, I log on to a particular app called Explain Everything, and I have an online profile for that. His mates log into that, and I ended up teaching 2 to 3 kids at once, with my son being here and the others being virtually accessing the lesson. But what I find really nice, and you might say, well, you can do that on any other iPad. Yes, you can, and I'm sure you can. But when I am busy doing that sort of stuff, I don't want to be faffing about with anything that's slow, have trouble with internet or anything like that. And I tend to always go for the top of the line. And I find that my iPad Pro has never failed me. So this is the 11-inch model, the 2018 one, absolutely fantastic. The other reason why I love my iPad Pro is at the minute, since I've been at home, I've discovered well, it's not really discovered. I've seen it on YouTube clips, but to be honest with you, being in the classroom, I never really had the time to explore that. But I use it right now as a second screen. So I do use it a lot as my sidecar since I've been on lockdown. And that's because I'm currently writing a new curriculum for my school. And in writing that curriculum, I have to do a lot of research, a lot of stuff I need to add in. This is my second screen. My MacBook, it can produce as many desktops as you like, and you know how all that goes. But I don't have time to be flicking between screens. I want what I want to be in my face when I need it. So this is my second screen where I have all my extra stuff, all my extra research, my emails, things like that, so that I can focus my attention on getting stuff done on the iPad, on the Mac, sorry. Now, here is the thing that takes me all the way back as to why I have an iPad Pro. It was all the way back in 2012, I think it was, when and somebody might quote me, tell me I'm wrong on this because I can't remember the date exactly, but I think it was 2011, 2012 it was when the first iPad came out. And I was very keen on that. The minute I saw it, I thought, ooh, this has got potential. As a teacher, I can really see this coming into play. And it wasn't until 2013 when I had, I think, what was an iPad Air then, that I just went on Amazon and I bought a £10 stylus for it. And I put away my planning using PowerPoints for my lessons. I grew up in a time when my teachers used to come to school and they used to do a lot of chalk and talk. So what they did was they came to school with whatever was in their bags, a few sticks of chalk and their textbook, and they just went to the board and they taught from memory. There was no PowerPoint back in those days. I mean, we're talking about Windows 95 back in those days. Even I was doing some training on that. So that's a long time, but my teachers were chalk and talk teachers, no PowerPoint. And for me, that's real teaching. When I started training as a teacher, we had to use all these PowerPoints and stuff. I hated them because they used to kill my Sundays. Because on a Sunday, I am not one of those teachers who would plan my lesson the night before or the morning. I don't believe in that sort of stuff. So I plan my lesson ahead of time. So on a Sunday, I would sit down, I plan all my PowerPoint for the week, and that would take a good 5-6 hours out of my day just doing that. Think about the amount of time teachers lose in doing all this nonsense. Anyway, the minute I had the opportunity to put a stylus on that screen and wrote, that was the last time I made a PowerPoint. So what happened was I brought an Apple TV, put it in my classroom, connected it to the projector, do an AirPlay with my iPad, and I was literally teaching from my iPad. Absolutely love it. I would sit next to the students, the naughty one that's going to mess your lesson up. I'll sit next to that one and then probably even give them a chance as well. And the kids absolutely love it when you say, okay, you write the next stage in this calculation, and you just hand over your iPad to them and they will write and explain. That saves the time it would take for a kid to get up, walk to the board, feel ashamed in front of their mates. They just got the teacher's iPad in their hand. They have hit the jackpot. And I just give them a chance and they would write that. And from that, it's been revolutionizing my life as a teacher since 2013. I take it pretty much everywhere. All my meetings, I use apps like Notability to take notes in my meetings. It's always there, so I don't have to walk around with a notebook all the time. It's my one go-to device when I am at work. When I'm at home, I tend to get on the laptop and stuff like that. But at work, I use my iPad. Now, one of the other things I really like about it is its versatility, this multitasking feature it's got. So when I'm teaching my lesson and I'm just cracking on through, I'm just going to disconnect it from my laptop at the minute. When I'm cracking through on this during the day, I have emails coming all the time that I need to keep up with. I don't want to be in my classroom with 3 and 4 different devices. I just want to be in my classroom with one device that does everything. So when I use things like Explain Everything and I use that as a second screen on the board, I can then do things like get my emails up and running. And for that, I'll demonstrate that to you. Now, this is by no means an exact science. I don't have all the tech like some other people on YouTube. If you're watching this video, then you must be really interested in what I do with my iPad, because there are people out there with much better equipment making much better videos than my rubbish video in my kitchen. But anyway, this is the app I use. Explain Everything. Absolutely love it. Pretty much all the videos on my YouTube channel, the Rusty Matt's YouTube channel, are made from this app, because I can record my voice into it, teach a lesson, upload it onto YouTube. So if this is literally a lesson I'm doing, so I've just literally clicked into one of my most recent videos I've put on YouTube, then I can get on with other things with the multitasking feature of this by literally bringing that across there. Now, the nice thing about this is that I have now got my email sitting on the side. Yes, it's in dark mode. I kind of like that mode anyway. And I'm not worried about being restricted about writing because I won't be doing my emails while teaching a lesson. While teaching a lesson, I'm going to be in full screen mode. But when it's time for the kids to get on working and I no longer need to be talking at them, I call it talking at them, then I can get on with doing my emails. I've just put that up there. I can literally make that a little bit bigger. The kids can still see the work on the board because they're seeing it from a second screen, not a mirrored screen. And then I can get on answering my emails. This goes for other things like if a text message comes through or anything like that, it pops up on the screen. I can deal with that there and then. So these are just some of the things that make my iPad extremely useful to me. So why an iPad Pro? Because it just works, okay? I'm not being like paid by Apple to do any of these promotions or anything like that. It's just that I believe in simplicity. When I am standing in front of a class or I'm even working at home or I'm working with my kids and stuff like that, I want no complications. I don't want any you have to do this before you do that, any of that nonsense. I just want things that work. And I tend to go for the top of the range because it has the faster chips, it has more memory and all that sort of stuff. So that's what I tend to go for. I don't go do all the Geekbench tests and all that sort of stuff to check its and compare it against other things like Surface Pro and all that sort of stuff. And I don't have time for that. Okay, I just have a thing that works. And also because I am in well, you obviously can guess, I am in Apple's ecosystem, then it means that for me, working is dead easy. I can make notes on my phone, pick it up on my iPad, carry on my laptop. If I so desire, I can choose whatever I want. Now, I've got a second video coming out. I might actually probably be doing some lessons before that anyway, because as my kids they're all working from home now. And as they need certain lessons, I might make more lessons and put it online. But I have been very kind to myself. Now I've got a 2020 iPad Pro coming up. Decided this time to go for the 12.9 inch because now that I'm tutoring a lot more online, I find that I need the real estate a little bit more. So I need a bit more screen to get done the things I need to get done. And using those apps that I normally use to do all my virtual teaching. I believe that because of COVID-19 and the fact that many of us are working from home now, who knows? This might be literally the next stage we go to and the next way that we evolve as human beings, where most of us will carry on working from home probably long after there's been a vaccine for this horrible virus. So it's in that sense, I personally believe in future proofing, make sure that you're prepared. And if it is that I'm back in the classroom, whenever that is, then I've got a good piece of kit to deliver my lessons from. So look out for that video. As soon as it's delivered, I'll probably do an unboxing video because I am so stoked. I'm looking forward to opening that case. But until then, if this was a good enough video for you and you can see what you can use an iPad for, or what you normally use your iPad for, leave a comment in the comment section. Don't forget to like the video. I really would appreciate some new subscribers. A bit low on those because after all I make is maths videos. This is my first time stepping out of the box, but I just wanted to show what I normally do with my iPad Pro. But until then, thanks for watching and I'll catch you on the next one.